There is a man in Nagano standing in his kitchen at 6 in the morning. The temperature outside is 9 degrees. Snow on the roof, frost thick on the single-pane glass. Inside, there is no furnace running, no ductwork in the walls, no thermostat to argue with, because there is no central heat to control. He is not cold. He has not been cold once this winter. You have a gas furnace insulation packed into every wall. Programmable thermostat you have set and reset a dozen times. And still, your heating bill climbs past $200 every January, and at 11 at night you are reaching for a second sweater anyway. Somebody is heating a house for less money than you spend on air nobody is breathing. That somebody is not running better equipment than you. He is not spending more. He is spending almost nothing at all. How? I grew up in rural Nagano. My father heated our home the way his father did, and his father before that. I have lived here in the States for over 30 years now, through winters that do not feel like anything new to me, watching American homes burn through money to heat empty hallways, empty bedrooms, empty floors nobody is standing on. I am not selling you a furnace or a heat pump brand. I do not have a dealership. What I have is 30 years of watching two very different ideas about what a house is supposed to do. Here is the honest version of why that gap exists. No conspiracy required. Nobody in the heating business makes more money convincing you to heat one room for 20 minutes. They make money when the whole system runs for 8 hours a day, all winter, whether anyone is home or not. Nobody sent a memo. There is just no profit in the smaller idea. The Japanese never built around that incentive. They built around a simpler one. Don't heat the building. Heat the person. Stay with me, because the last method I am going to show you is the one that would make every furnace salesman in this country very uncomfortable, and I am saving it for the end on purpose. Now, the first thing, and it surprises every American I explain it to, Japanese homes are poorly insulated by Western standards. Single-pane windows are still common. Wall insulation is thin. There is no central duct system pushing heat from one machine into every room. A traditional Japanese house in winter is genuinely cold. The hallway is cold. The bathroom is cold. Any room nobody is sitting in stays cold all season. Every week on this channel, one honest fix for your home and your yard, 30 years of methods, tested by hand, nothing sold to you. If that is useful, subscribe, and the next one finds you. That is not a failure of engineering. It is a choice, and the choice is cultural. Japanese homes have always been built to breathe. Humidity, mold, and air quality mattered more than sealed warmth, because a house that seals itself against one season creates a different problem in the other. My father used to say the house belongs to all 4 seasons. You do not get to pick just one. The consequence is that you cannot heat the building and expect to stay warm. There is not enough insulation to hold it in, so the Japanese never tried. They heat the person, not the room, the person. That idea sits underneath every method I am about to walk you through, from a piece of furniture that is 600 years old to a piece of technology sold today as state-of-the-art. That is the shift you can see. What is harder to see is how much it cost you to miss it. The center of Japanese household heat has been for roughly 600 years, is the Kotatsu. It is a low table, the kind you sit at on the floor. Under the tabletop sits a heating element, originally a small charcoal brazier, today an electric coil running 40 to 70 watts, about what a single incandescent bulb pulls. Thick, heavy blanket hangs from the underside of the tabletop all the way to the floor. Slide your legs under it, and you are sitting inside trapped warm air. Your core stays warm. Your hands rest on the table. You are eating, working, sitting with your family, completely comfortable at 9 degrees outside, while the room around you stays cold, and nobody at that table cares. Here is what most people get wrong when they hear 40 watts. They assume it means it barely works. It means the opposite. It means almost none of that energy is wasted heating air nobody is sitting in. Basic Kotatsu runs $60 to $150 and uses less electricity across an entire winter than a central system burns through in a single week. Skip anything with a higher wattage rating, it defeats the whole point. Sit down at one tonight, and you will feel the difference before the table is even fully warm. But a Kotatsu only holds you while you are sitting at it. What about the rest of the day? What about sleeping? This is where it stops being furniture and starts being something you wear. The Hanten is a heavily padded indoor jacket, thickly quilted, worn right over your clothes inside the house. It keeps your core and your arms warm without heating a single cubic foot of the room around you. My wife Yuki has worn one every winter since she was a child. She brought the habit here, and in all our years together I have never once heard her complain about being cold indoors. It costs around $40 and lasts for decades. Put it on before you touch the thermostat and you will feel the difference within the hour. That handles you while you are awake. Sleeping is a different problem, and it has two answers, not one. The yutanpo is a hot water bottle, traditionally a metal flask, filled and slid into the bedding before you get in. Boil a kettle, fill the flask, that is the entire method. About $15 for a good one, and it keeps the sleeping area warm through the first 3 to 4 hours of the night, which is usually the coldest stretch before your body's own heat takes over. The Kakebuton is the thick, quilted futon system Japanese households sleep under, heavier than what most Americans use. It traps your body heat inside the bedding so completely that the room's actual temperature becomes almost irrelevant. You are not sleeping in a heated room. You are sleeping inside a warm envelope your own body is running, for free, all night. Get the heaviest one you can actually afford, and stop cracking the bedroom door for airflow. That warmth you're trying to keep is the whole point. Before I go further, tell me in the comments what you actually do when the bill climbs in January. Turn the thermostat down and pile on blankets, or just pay it and complain. I read every single one. Being under a blanket handles the still hours. Moving through the house is a different problem, and this is where it gets a little counterintuitive. When the Japanese do reach for powered heat, the device most homes have relied on for decades is a portable kerosene heater. In Japanese, a Sekyu fan heater. It is a small cylinder that burns kerosene instead of pulling off the grid, and it heats one room fast and efficiently. The word to notice there is one. Japanese families do not heat the whole house. They heat the room they are standing in, walk to the next room, and either the heater comes with you or it stays behind and you put on the Hanten instead. The room you left goes cold within minutes, and not 1 watt gets spent keeping it warm for nobody. Compared to a Western system running central heat, 8 or 10 hours a day, that gap in energy use is not small. It is enormous, because the Japanese home is heating a fraction of the cubic volume for a fraction of the time, for the bodies actually standing in it. That is the room-by-room discipline. Now here is the part that would actually embarrass a furnace. Japan pioneered and scaled a technology the West only started taking seriously in the last few years. The inverter-driven heat pump, sold there as the standard wall-mounted unit that cools in summer and heats in winter. It is already in most Japanese homes. Here is what makes it different from anything bolted into your walls right now. A conventional electric heater converts 1 unit of electricity into 1 unit of heat. That is the ceiling. Full stop. A heat pump does not generate heat. It moves heat. It pulls thermal energy out of the outdoor air, even cold air, and concentrates it inside. For every 1 unit of electricity it uses, it delivers 3 to 6 units of heat. That ratio has a name, coefficient of performance, and a modern Japanese heat pump runs between 3 and 6, depending on the temperature outside. No gas furnace, no electric baseboard, no radiant floor system gets anywhere near that number. This is the one I told you to wait for. Put it together with the room-by-room discipline, the Kotatsu, the Hanten, the Kakebuton. A Japanese home can heat a single room to full comfort on 1/3 to 1/6 of the energy a Western system burns doing the same job, not slightly less. A fraction. So here is what all of it comes down to. American and European homes heat empty space, the furnace running while the family is at work, the bedrooms empty, the hallway sitting unused for 6 hours a day. The building is the target, and the building is massive, and it leaks heat constantly, so keeping it warm never stops costing you. The Japanese target was never the building. It was a body. A body is small, is easy to keep warm, and it asks for almost nothing once you give it the right layer, the right table, the right blanket. You were not overpaying because you did not understand heating. You were paying to keep an empty building warm because nobody ever told you the target was supposed to be you. My father never explained it in those words. He did not need to. He just handed me a Hanten on the first cold morning and said, "Put this on before you think about touching the heater." So if there is one room in your house that has stayed cold no matter what you have tried, and the bill has stayed high anyway, run it in this order. Hanten first, Kotatsu if you can find one, kerosene heater for the room you are actually in, off the second you leave it, heat pump for the moments you need the whole room warm fast. Tell me in the comments, what is the one room in your house you have never managed to keep warm? I read every single one. Next time, I am going deep on the heat pump itself, which unit, what size for your square footage, and the one spec number that separates a good one from a waste of money. That is the piece that actually decides your bill. Personal first, room second, building last. Go put the jacket on before you touch the thermostat.